Mike, that's the wrong number!
How is this even possible?
When we last saw Equestria in 2019, it had become a melting pot of love, acceptance, and diversity. Ponies of all races, unicorns, pegasi, earth and sea ponies, were finally living in harmony with griffins, kirins, changelings, dragons, and yaks. We waved a tearful goodbye to Princess Twilight Sparkle and her 6 closest friends, who'd we'd gotten to know for a decade, and a chapter of equestrian history closed with all being right in the world. And then suddenly something came along and f***ed it all up. My Little Pony: A New Generation is the 5th incarnation of the now 40-year-old My Little Pony franchise. The previous generation, Friendship is Magic, created by Lauren Faust, took place in the magical kingdom of Equestria, and followed a young unicorn named Twilight Sparkle for a decade, as she learned about the power of friendship. This show was the most famous My Little Pony installment to date, bringing to fruition a group of adult fans known as Bronies. It's had worldwide influence, for better or for worse, but nobody can deny the importance of this television show and its impact on pop culture for the past 10 years. When the series finally ended in October of 2019, it was announced that a new series would be streaming exclusively on Netflix in 2021. Rather than starting with a clean slate, creating a totally new line of characters and a new universe and a new continuity, the good old money grubbers up at Hasbro decided it would be a good idea to make this series a spiritual successor to Friendship is Magic, taking place in the same universe, in the same continuity, hundreds of years later. As you can imagine, this brings up numerous issues. Friendship is Magic had a decade of lore and fandom built up behind it, with lovable characters and memorable locations. Canterlot, Cloudsdale, the Winnie City, Ponyville, Appaloosa. However, all of these are thrown out the window for this new film. The animation for this film is spectacular. It's very obvious that they spared no expense on the animation, which is a good thing. The ponies have a fuzzy, realistic texture almost like that of a plushie. They're bright and vibrant and very lively. When they began work on Generation 5, Hasbro decided to hire Brony artists from the fandom. This means that Imalu, who is very well known for her works on DeviantArt, is one of the primary character designers for this film, as well as for the upcoming series. I think it's really cool that they're getting fans involved in this show more than ever before. A big part of My Little Pony is the fandom behind it, and I think it's cool that they're involving them now. This movie is very well cast, which I was not expecting. Vanessa Hudgens plays the main character, Sunny Starscout. I grew up watching Vanessa Hudgens in High School Musical, so I know she can sing fairly well, which of course, with My Little Pony being a musical, she did a very good job singing in this movie. There's also Kamiko Glenn, who is in 2 other horse-themed shows on Netflix, which I find interesting. She plays the character Horse in Centaur World. I want to talk about Centaur World later because that is also a Netflix musical, and it is highly unconventional, and I love it. There's also BoJack Horseman, in which she played this character. I just finished watching BoJack Horseman a few weeks ago. Then there's James Marsden. Now, James Marsden has been in a ton of different films and TV shows. Most recent works that I saw him in include Westworld and X-Men. He played the original Cyclops in the 2000s X-Men trilogy, and he also was in Hairspray, which is another musical. I completely forgot he was in Hairspray. I've seen that movie like a bazillion times, and somehow I kept unintentionally stuffing his face into the back of my subconscious, so I completely forgot that that was him. But yeah, I was surprised with how well James Marsden could sing. And that brings us to the music. Now, the last My Little Pony movie from 2017 was also a musical. This one had a lot more songs, and the songs were more orchestrated and theatrical, which I really enjoyed the first movie. I honestly enjoy the first one more than I did this one, but we'll talk about that later. There's only 3 or 4 songs in this movie. None of them are very unique. It's the type of generic pop rock music that you usually hear nowadays. However, the songs are catchy, I will give them that. Okay, so now let's talk about the story. Sunny is an Earth pony living in Maritime Bay in a now segregated Equestria, where rulers of the world use fear-mongering to isolate the races and keep them at odds with each other, particularly through the use of commercialism and social media propaganda.
Sound familiar?
Throughout the film, we follow Sunny as she befriends ponies of other races and brings the magic of friendship back to Equestria. I will say, if you've never seen My Little Pony before, you will probably love this movie. I like it. It's fun, it's cute, it's a nice 90-minute escape from the world we currently live in. However, if you are aware of previous My Little Pony lore, this film may have raised some questions. Again, when we last saw Equestria, it had become a melting pot of love and diversity. The final villains of G4, Chrysalis, Tirek, and Closey-Glow, were defeated and frozen in stone, and Princess Twilight Sparkle took over as the ruler of Equestria. So what exactly happened? All the races that we saw before in the previous season are presumably gone. I mean, we probably haven't seen them yet. Maybe they exist elsewhere outside of Equestria. We know that, like, dragons live hundreds of years, alicorns live thousands of years. Twilight is an alicorn, and last we saw her, she was raising and lowering the sun. That's a thing that alicorns usually did, was raise and lower the sun. And so who is doing that now? Are alicorns extinct and there's like a machine that's raising and lowering the sun? Or is Twilight still alive but like off and hiding in a cave somewhere like Yoda? What happened to Spike and the main six? We know they probably passed away, but I'm pretty sure Twilight still has to be alive hiding somewhere. There's no way that she just disappeared without rhyme or reason. Maybe she did. Maybe she got like hidden away by like these ponies trying to concoct a new world order or something. Also, what happened to Discord? Discord was one of the main villains of the first few seasons, and he was also best friends with Fluttershy, who was one of the main characters. Once Fluttershy passed away, was Discord pretty much like, well, I guess that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Is he just hiding off in the Chaos Dimension somewhere now? What about Tirek, Chrysalis, and Closey-Glow? They're frozen in stone, so they're not really dead. They can still see and hear everything around them. They just can't move or really do anything. Did someone somehow break the stone prison and maybe they roamed free? You know, maybe they caused all this segregation and they're secretly ruling the world somewhere. Tirek, Chrysalis, and Closey-Glow got rid of Twilight Sparkle and created a new world order out of Equestria. Seems legit. The School of Friendship is gone, griffins are gone, changelings are gone, dragons are gone. It's just ponies. Ponies and rabbits and little furry animals. Everything's gone. There's a lot of lore that they broke in just 90 minutes. They somehow decomposed 10 years worth of story building in 90 minutes and undid it all with the flop of a hoof or the snap of a finger, or really just the Control-Alt-Delete keys on Photoshop or something. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this movie's pretty good. I give it like, I'll say 7 out of 10. I'm surprised that it got a higher rating than the previous film. The previous film had higher stakes and a bigger score, lots of diverse characters, and really, really good music. But who knows? This is just a passing of the torch now from one generation to the next. Maybe all these questions will be answered in the seasons to come.